There's way too much advice out there and way too much information out there that we're all trying to process in trying to solve our problems. For me, growing up, being around the internet for most of my life, I had a lot of nights where I just constantly sought a lot of information on improving my social skills, improving how to make YouTube videos, improving something, right? And the result of that was I didn't remember anything, to be honest. Like, I can't recall like 90% of the stuff that I watched. And I'm just left here feeling like, what's the point of taking in all this advice and information when nothing happens? And this led me to a realization that the only way you can truly learn something is by acting. But more importantly, we have to act in a way that allows us to first act in iterations, and second, to act in a way that we can reflect upon our experience. There's a lot of things that I'm working on in my life, and if I recall them, I catch myself constantly scrolling and constantly looking rather than doing something about it. Examples of this would be, for instance, using the camera. I'm doing YouTube right now. I'm talking to a camera, and to be honest, I'm still not the best in front of the camera. I'm still trying to work my way around it. But there's many times where I tried making these long videos, which are very comprehensive and very like, oh yeah, I want to explain like everything that's like in my head, to the point where after I put the video out, this 20-minute video, sometimes 30 minutes, I've done that before, and I put that out there, a lot of editing, and a lot of these things that what I made believe that made a perfect video, so perfectionist tendencies. I put it out there, and it only garnered like 10 views. Like, that feels like shit. There's another example I want to talk about was social skills and just relationships in general. I remember how I was always thinking that, okay, I can be like Ryan Gosling or Ryan Reynolds and just go in with all this like charisma, just walk in with that, exuding that confidence. And I was so busy like thinking that I can go from 0 to 100 watching all these charisma breakdowns that I didn't really act. And when I finally did act after like 4 or 5 months of deliberation, I mean, I came in like a nervous wreck. Like, I was trying to force something that wasn't natural to me at that moment. So we have to first take it step by step and get feedback from the world, right? When it comes to building a product, when it comes to relationships, you have to first be okay with that first step, and you have to just do that first step. Yeah, for me, I'm recording shorter videos without editing. I'm just talking to the camera. And once you get better at that, once you get better at just even saying hi to the person, once you get that first feedback on like your bare product, at least you've built that momentum to continue acting. Because now, after you made that mistake, you don't feel like, oh, I spent like a whole year building this thing or working on my social skills and relationships just for that one thing to topple down because you spent so much emotional and mental investment on this thing that when it doesn't work out, you feel even more demotivated and you fall in this loop of self-hate and self-loathing. You have to constantly put yourself out there and be okay with making mistakes. And that's another thing. When you keep acting and you keep doing this small step by step, you're more comfortable with making mistakes. And we learn best through mistakes. Honestly, I think it's just human nature for us to learn better through experiences and direct experience rather than just being told something. And once you start like acting and you start putting things to action, you'll come to realize that there's a strange feeling in your mind where these like epiphany starts coming up. Like all the things that you've learned, even the things that you forgot, like in your subconscious, they start connecting together. Like, I remember I was going through some turbulent times with a person that I was trying to get closer to. And I started realizing that, oh, okay, that's what it meant to love myself. It's like I became so attached to like this person that I was incapable of putting that investment back into myself and figuring myself out. But being told that through some Instagram reel of some guy putting some like anime edit and some caption saying like, oh, you better love yourself than love others, is not the same as actually doing it, getting your feelings like hurt a little, fucking up, and then realization. Because now that you have that knowledge in the back of your brain, the only thing that's left to connect that knowledge to truly like understanding it is the action, the experience, the thing that finally makes you put everything together. So, not saying that don't be open-minded. Do be open-minded. But balance open-mindedness with an approach to life that you would much rather act than sit there and deliberate. Especially as right now I'm in my 20s, and I'm assuming if you're watching this video, you're pretty young yourself. There's not a lot of risk in fucking up. So use the most of your 20s to just learn and fuck up and learn a shit ton from it. I'd rather have no thoughts and pure action and figure out my way there compared to all thoughts and no action. Yeah. Anyways, have a good day.